So I am going to briefly give you an idea about your career prospects in academics. So firstly, I'd like to say you what you can do after your BSc. You will have several options. You can do MBA, MCA, MSc, BTech, and even BA. So in the next subsequent slides, I will discuss only those career opportunities that are related to our computer science field. So firstly, MCA. So if you want to do a private or government job after completing your master's degree, then you should go for MCA. This is a 3-year course duration, and in order to get admitted into MCA, you need to qualify either JECA, that is a state level examination, or NIMSET, that is a national level examination. Now, several institute has their own entrance examination, just like BEAT, Vellore Institute of Technology. But it's preferable if you qualify this JECA or NIMSET, because the scores obtained in these examinations are recognized by all the institutes that offer you MCA programs. And in this exam, you must have good knowledge about class 12 mathematics, and you must have a good knowledge in general aptitude to qualify this examination. Also, there is one thing with MCA, since different candidates from BSc, BTech, and even BCA can join this MCA course. So the course structure is organized in such a way that it will be a repetition of 50% of what you have learned in your BSc degree. So I have many friends who feel frustrated after first year, saying that they are not learning something new. So you must keep that in mind before joining your MCA degree. So next is BTech. This BTech degree is a bit different from what you are acquainted with. The BTech that you do after class 12 is a 4-year degree course. In the first year, they teach you maths, physics, chemistry, everything. And from the second year, it gets streamlined to whatever subject that you have taken up. But since in this BTech you are taking up this BTech after completing your graduation course, this is called as lateral entry BTech, and this is a 3-year course where you don't have to study the first year. But the problem with this BTech is most of the company are unaware of this 3-year BTech course. So when you apply for jobs, there will be problem in filling up of the application forms. So if you do this BTech, you have to keep in mind that you have to complete MTech in order to get a proper job. This BTech is offered by University of Calcutta and Jadavpur University only. Now, University of Calcutta, you can study two subjects. One is computer science and engineering, other is IT. And in Jadavpur, you can study electronics and instrumentation. In Jadavpur, you have to give an entrance exam to get admitted in this 3-year BTech course. In Calcutta University, the entrance exam depends upon the number of candidates that are appearing. If there are more candidates, then they will organize an entrance examination, otherwise not. Next is MSc. If you want to go into academic jobs, or if you want to do higher studies, or you want to go in R&D sector, in that case you should join MSc. This MSc is a 2-year course, and there is no central examination for getting admission into MSc programs in every colleges. Several colleges has their own organizes their own entrance examination. So most of the subjects that are important for these entrance examinations are like networking, DBMS, C, C++. Now you will have to study whatever you have already completed in your BSc course. That will be enough for qualifying these examinations. Now, in CU entrance examination, basic electronics and numerical methods are also important, along with the subjects that are already mentioned. Now, there are some institutes like Indian Institute of Information Technology and Management in Kerala. These institutes offer specialized MSc programs, like they offer MSc in cybersecurity, MSc in artificial intelligence. Now, those who want to stay in academic related jobs, I'll suggest that you should not study MSc in these institutes, because then your course will be streamlined. In this entrance exam, you physics and basic maths are very important, because other than basic computer science, you have to know class 12 physics and basic maths. And those who want to do jobs in IT sector, or those who want to uh, do jobs related to these fields like artificial intelligence or cybersecurity, they can do MSc in this triple IT MTech. And now there are two other institutes, TIFR, that is Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, and CMI, Chennai Mathematical Institute. Their entrance exam pattern is quite different as compared to the others. Um, in these examination, they mainly check how good your knowledge is in mathematics and how good are your problem solving abilities. If you are good in these, then check 10 years questions of CMI and TIFR. If you find that you can do well, then you can apply for these exams. And the important subjects are in this examination: discrete maths, graph theory, algorithms, data structure, Boolean algebra, C and C++. You need to have clear concepts in all these subjects in order to qualify this examination of TIFR and CA. Now, in order to qualify this entrance examination, I had mainly studied 10 years of BHU, and I have mainly referred to Sand Foundry. In Sand Foundry, corresponding to every subject, there are approximately 1000 MCQ. That's a lot. So you can practice from there. Other than this, India Bigs and Geeks for Geeks are also quite good. You can practice MCQ from here in order to qualify these entrance examination. So in the next slide, I have listed out some of the universities and institutes from where you can complete your MSc degree. Firstly, if you want to stay in West Bengal, then try to do MSc from University of Calcutta. There will be an entrance exam. If you do not get University of Calcutta and if you do not have any financial problem, then you go for Xavier. Otherwise, try to get admitted in Rashtraguru Shurendra. These universities are listed according to their priorities. Whenever you apply for MSc, check them. Now, these are the institutes or universities in other states where only three institutes are there, universities are there: University of Mumbai, Christ University, and Vellore Institute of Technology, that take direct application. And in all other institutes, you have to give entrance exam, and these are also listed according to their priority. So now after completing your master's degree, you will have several opportunities. You can obviously go for job, but then you can do B.Ed, M.Tech and PhD. So you can even do PhD after completing your M.Tech course. Now there is a difference here. Like if you complete your MTech and then do your PhD, then it will add an extra score when you apply for your assistant professor job. This will add as an extra weightage to your seat. And moreover, there are several private institutes opening up new graduate degree courses. So you can also take admission in those college admission. You can also take jobs in those colleges if you complete your MTech and then you do PhD. Now, next, I'll like to discuss a little bit about B.Ed. Now, if you want to become a school teacher, then B.Ed is compulsory nowadays. And if you do it after BSc, then you will be able to teach only class 10 students. And if you do it after MSc, you will be able to teach up to class 12. But obviously, as the competition is increasing, postgraduate students will be given more preference. Now, B.Ed is a 2-year degree course, and there are two kinds of teacher. One is trained graduate teacher, TGT, and another is postgraduate teacher, PGT. In TGT, B.Ed is compulsory and you have to qualify either CTET or TET. Now, CTET is a central examination that makes you eligible for teaching in schools, and TET is a state level examination that makes you eligible in that teaching in schools in that particular state. And if you are trained graduate teacher, then you can teach up to class 10. And if you have a post-graduation degree, you do not need to qualify TET or CTET. Having B.Ed is enough along with your post-graduation degree. And then you can teach up to class 12. Now, among all these exams, Kendriya Vidyalaya also organizes a central level examination for recruiting teachers in computer science. But Kendriya Vidyalaya is the only school up till date that does not require B.Ed. That is, without B.Ed, you can teach computer science in Kendriya Vidyalaya schools. Now, MTech. After completing your MSc, you become eligible to appear for the GATE examination. This after qualifying GATE, you can get admission into MTech, but every institute except IIT organizes their own entrance examination. Depending upon your score in entrance and your GATE score, and obviously your marks in your MSc, you can get admission in different colleges. And this MTech is a 2-year degree course. Now, ISI also has its own entrance examination. ISI offers MTech and integrated MTech. In integrated MTech, you can do PhD after completion of your MTech degree. But this ISI examination is also followed by interview after your MTech. Now, you can also do MTech in mobile computing from Jadavpur University. This is the only course in JU that in which you can take direct admission. That is, you do not require a GATE score. Now, for getting a good GATE score, you can solve the previous year question and solve MCQ from the websites that I have already mentioned before, San Foundry or IndiaBits or Geeks for Geeks. And if possible, you can take up Ravindra Babu Ragula's class. I have also provided the link here, but the only problem is this course is very expensive. I think for 3 months, the fees is about 1200. I'm not sure, but I think 12,000. So what you can do is you can all of you can create a common account, share it and share the money and download the course and then see it later. Before buying this course, Ravindra Babu Ragula also has some free YouTube tutorials. Check that. If you like it, then I'll suggest that you can take his classes. So next is UGC NET and SET. In order to get into PhD or in order to have a job as assistant professor, you need to qualify UGC NET or UGC SET. Now, UGC NET is a central examination that has recognition all over the world, and the NET category is generally of two types. Now, one is LS, another is JRF. In order to get LS or JRF, the first condition is you have to get 40% in both the papers separately. Now, after getting 40%, you become eligible for qualifying LS, but the cutoff generally varies between 54 to 60 out of 100. If you get marks above the cutoff, then you are considered as LS qualified candidate. And among all the students that are qualifying LS, only 6% will be considered as JRF qualified. Now, all the students, not only from MSc, but from BTech and MCA, all of them can apply for this UGC NET. So competitions are increasing day by day. So becoming 6% among all the LS candidates is really difficult. But in order to qualify this exam, you have to study only the subjects that are covered in BSc, MSc, and your MTech degree. And you do not have to know everything. Like it is mainly theoretical, unlike GATE that is mostly mathematical based. This UGC NET is mainly theoretical. You need to just have the concept of everything. You do not need to know details. Okay. And this state level is same as UGC NET. It is just valid within a particular state, and it is organized by almost all the states separately. Next is PhD. If you want to do PhD after MTech or MSc, it will take 5 or more years, and you will have to qualify JRF in order to get into PhD. Now, there are several institutes, ISI, TIFR, CMI. All these three institutes have their own entrance examination. You can also qualify these entrance examination and get into PhD in these institutes. Now, in academics, you can have mainly in academics, if you want to go into assistant professor, there you need either NET or SET qualification. And till date, PhD is preferred. It is not compulsory, but it is preferred. But however, by the time you graduate, PhD will become compulsory. Now, you can also look for jobs in government and as well as private sectors. In government jobs, for government jobs, College Service Commission and Public Service Commission releases advertisement every year for the vacancies in assistant professor. You can apply whenever the vacancy is released. And there are also many jobs in R&D sectors by DRDO, ISRO, and NIC. where they releases advertisement every year for scientist post. You can also apply there. There are some private institutes, there are some self-finance colleges like Bhawanipur Education Society that offers you a contractual post, and there are some private universities like Adamas, Amity, Techno India, etc. that are newly opening up the graduate degree course. You can also apply for assistant professor job in those institutes. That's it. Now I would like to share my interview experience that I had all along the entire period. So mostly I have seen that during the interview, they mainly look at how good are your communication skills, how well you can connect with the students, how can you handle a bunch of students, or what are your personalities. Obviously subject knowledge is important, but mainly they look after the communication skills. Obviously, if you can't explain a particular topic well, so you can't be a good teacher, right? So I think many of you will go into academics in future. I just want to tell you that it's a long way journey. I think it approximately takes almost 10 years to get properly established in this field. I I have seen when I was at your age in the graduation. I have seen our teachers working dedicatedly for us. They spent so much effort in teaching us, and not only teaching us, they were also responsible for our personality development. So I was really inspired by them. At that time, I would imagine myself sitting in their position after a few years. So I have mainly taken up this career because it feels I feel good when I see when I imagine like every year I get to see new faces, I get to hear new stories, I get to teach new students, and I also get to develop their personality. So these things really inspires me a lot, and so I have taken up this career. So I would just like to say that for those who will take up this career, there is lot of struggle and there is investment of many years of life, but at the end of this, when you achieve it, I feel it's really worth it. That's it. Thank you.